Welcome, listeners, to Just Neapolitan. I'm joined today with Maggie and Floyd, and I'm your resident round earther, Bryan.
Round earther.
Round earther. I'm a round earth truther.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Floyd,
a real
don't.
roundabout. That's a real roundabout way of just saying you just go to school. Like I don't know, like
That you're educated.
I don't go to school.
Have been to.
Yes.
I've been on a plane as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work to fake that shit.
Right.
Also, eclipses are a thing.
True.
You know, you can have a lunar eclipse. It would be impossible to always have a completely, you know what? We don't have to get into this.
That's not what this podcast is about.
It was a throwaway joke,
It's
man.
not what this podcast is about.
It was a callback to you trying to convince Snapchat the Earth is flat. I thought it was funny. The Earth is round. There you go. Sorry to ruin the surprise for anyone.
Boo.
Tomato. Oh, man. Did I spoil the end of that 5 billion year old movie for you?
Wow.
Oh.
I recently
Instantly off
asked
the
someone
rails.
if they were a flat earther just to make sure.
You know what? I don't think they're listening to us.
I think they also, even if they were, they would have turned us off last episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. With the other certain things that most flat earthers seem to also believe, I think about episode 5, we would have ruined it for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it took about that long to insult that entire genre of people. What y'all been playing this week?
Oh, still Zelda. I'm still on
Alright.
the Tears of the Kingdom kick because I think I said this last episode too. I'm trying to milk it for all that it's worth before I have to go and do the final boss because I am one of those people that once I complete the big final mission, I probably won't go back and play it because there's nothing I'm working towards. So I have to keep that off as long as possible. And I'm currently looking for a bunch of outfits and stuff like that. But I have ADHD brain and I'll start doing a task and then I'll see something else. I'm like, oh, I should do that instead. And suddenly 4 hours go by and I've not completed a single task. I've just started 7 side quests. And then I'm like, wait, wasn't I working on? And then I go back to one. And I'm like, I don't want to do this one. I want to go work on the other one. And then nothing has been done. Absolutely nothing. I think I have almost 90 hours in the game. And I finished all the mini boss stuff. But literally now it's just, what's over there? And then I walk for a really long time and I look at the flowers and then I turn the game off. So that's really all I've been doing. But I've also played a couple of old childhood classics of mine because I'm prepping for a birthday stream next week. So been just testing a bunch of games. So I've just been on my computer a lot testing to make sure that everything works so that that'll be all up and running next Saturday.
Woo!
Woo.
Nice.
So your whole adventure with Tears of the Kingdom, you basically explained why I've never beaten Skyrim.
Yeah, yeah. It's very that. It's just I want to see everything the game has to offer. It's a fucking massive game. I want to see everything that the developers and the art directors and everyone has put into it because they put those things into it for a specific reason. So, but now it just makes me want to go back and play Breath of the Wild because there was so much that I missed in that.
Yeah, I need to finish Breath of the Wild. I was trying to do the last thing I got to do is Ganon. There's other stuff to do, but
Yeah.
I'm not I definitely am not completionist about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very rarely a finishist, you know.
So is Floyd.
Yeah, no, I know that's.
Yeah.
I'm more of a finishist than Floyd, though. I
Oh,
feel.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think anybody is.
No, I don't know. Eddie seems to bounce around a lot on games too. I don't know.
Yeah, but he plays games for the most part that have no like ending. So.
Yeah.
You know what? That is true. Yeah. Yeah.
He
that's
found
true.
a loophole. He doesn't have to finish the games because there's
no
ending.
end to the game, so technically I win. But yeah, no. So I've been trying to play it, but I'm too lazy to change the HDMI input in the back of the TV. So I've only been playing the Switch in like the Go mode or the
Got it.
But the thing where
Yes.
it's portable. That's the word.
Handheld.
Yeah, handheld. That was actually the one I was trying to think of. And then I said portable. I'm like, works.
I know. I saw you log on, and I was like, Bryan is on the Switch.
Yeah, I was at work.
That's what immediately Floyd and I were talking, and I was like, "Oh my God, Bryan's on the Switch," and he was like, "He's at work," and I said, "Oh, that makes a
Yeah, I was
lot more
playing
sense."
Breath of Fire.
Oh,
On the SNES emulator.
got it.
But yeah, so going into Hyrule Castle, and then it's got this 3D map. I'm like, no, not on this tiny screen.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm like, I can't tell what's what.
Yeah, that
And
was
I
not a
gave
great
up-
feature.
Yeah, I gave up when I realized I thought I was continuing to move forward, and then I'm like, oh, I just dropped down into an area that it took me 20 minutes to get to the area that I was in before this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done. Not doing this. I'm like, this has got to go on the big screen. So, but my laziness has prevented that. Also, I've actually been enjoying playing my Xbox these days, which is good since I still don't have a PC I can play games on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing Stardew this week. Mostly just Stardew.
We love Stardew.
Yeah, I do have a complaint though. So it's something. So I just got the boat fixed to go to that volcano island or Fern Island. Whatever the hell they call it.
Ginger Island.
Ginger. I don't know what one of them. The place with the parrots and the shitty volcano.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it when Willie gets you to fix the boat, right? And it's like, oh yeah, I just need like 200 pieces of hardwood, and oh, this needs to be an iridium anchor. Oh, and then you need batteries for the ticket machine. And I just thought of that, and I'm like, you're having me upgrade your fucking boat, pimp out your gut. Like, why couldn't you use an iron anchor? Why does it got to be iridium? Oh, and then I also have to fix your ticket machine so I can pay you to take me to the island.
Yep.
Biggest fucking scam in the game.
I just remember when that feature came out, like when they first introduced Ginger Island, I was so excited. And then it was like, oh, you need all these things. But I only had one save file at the time that I already had like, I don't know, 200, 300 hours in. So I already had all of the things. So it was not, it was not like a whole process to where it was like, oh, you need all this hardwood and you need all these batteries. And I was like, great, I have 99 batteries just sitting back at home. I'll go grab some for you real fast. Oh, you need 3? Oh, that's fine. I got that.
You sure you don't need more? I could give you more.
Please
Just
take
throw him at
more.
his forehead like, you broke bitch here.
What, are you going to act like it's a Red Sox game and throw batteries at him? Oh, man. Yeah, but so I unfortunately not. I was in the process of collecting hardwood to upgrade my home, and I'm like, fun. Now I need 350.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the big one. Like I didn't have that thought before because when it got entered in the first time, I was in the same position as you. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go grab all that.
Yeah.
I'm
And now
like,
that you have
I
to
wasn't
do
doing
it.
I have all this stuff and I don't know why I own it. Because that's something that happens that you collect it because you're like, oh, I might need it.
Yeah.
But you're also at that point where you're like, I don't need the money from it either.
Yeah.
So you just end up with this collection of shit going, why doesn't anyone want this?
I will say real fast, and then we can get to Floyd, who's waiting so patiently. I
got Floyd, you're here. How are you doing?
on Game Pass, they just put it's not Harvest Moon anymore. What is it called?
Story of Seasons.
Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life or something, or not A Wonderful Life. One of the other ones. They just put one of the ones on Game Pass, and I was like, oh, okay, like I'll test it out. And obviously, right, it's kind of the same as Stardew. There's town folk. You can romance people. You're on a farm. Blah blah blah. And I have that exact same mentality as I do with Stardew. I'm like, put everything in a chest, like sell only a couple of things, and then keep everything else, and like blah blah. But in Story of Seasons, the days move way fucking faster, like unbelievably fast. And it's the same as like when you first start off in Stardew, where you lose all your stamina in like the first hour, right? Because you've planted all this stuff, or you're chopping down trees or whatever. And I'm like, why don't I just play this completely differently than I would Stardew? Like, I'm just gonna do whatever, because I've already played Stardew a billion times. I know how these things go. There is no deadline. There's no deadline to do anything. That's not the point of these games. Where I have that kind of Stardew mentality of being like, I want to finish everything by year 1, or I want to do this by year 1, or whatever, blah, blah. I'm just like, okay, slow it down. That's the whole point of these games, is just chill the fuck out. So that's how
Right.
I'm trying to play the Story of Seasons one. But I know the second I open Stardew again, I'm like, let's go. I'm like, we're going to finish everything really fast. Because when you put 300 hours into a game, you're just like, I know how to do everything. But I'm like, okay, this is a new one. Take your time, take everything in, and just calm down.
Play a chill game in a chill way.
Exactly.
That is such a new concept.
Okay, Floyd, what have you been playing?
Final Fantasy 14.
I knew that's all he was gonna say. That's why I was like, he's not gonna be upset that we're talking about this, because all he's going to say.
I do
that same game.
I do have something that has piqued my interest more than leveling up in that goddamn game, which is, I'm at the point where leveling up is a grind, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm in it for the long haul, but right now I'm fishing. I discovered fishing, and that's all I've been doing. I was like, oh shit, you can fish in this?
I don't know if it's ever been mentioned on this podcast, and I'm sure it has, but Floyd's favorite thing in video games is fishing.
Yes,
100%.
he doesn't own a fishing game.
He does not.
Do you know?
Well,
actually, I do. I have it on my
VR.
Thank you. Have it on my Oculus.
On the Oculus. I tried it one time. When Floyd and I were in Puerto Rico a while ago, we were sitting in our Airbnb, and he had brought his VR, and I was like, oh, I've never really done anything on the VR. And he was like, you want to try this fishing game? First of all, VR is so mind-blowing. It is very disorienting. And I was sitting down. I was like, I'm actually here in this virtual fishing world while I'm on one of the most like beautiful islands in Puerto Rico. I'm like, wow, this virtual world is so amazing. But it was really fun. But that's his only fishing game that he has.
It's my only one.
Yeah, how can you tell we're gamers? I took a vacation so I could play games in a different place.
Yeah.
An
really
island
nice
video
outside.
game
Going
on an
outside? Why would I go outside?
I'll just take my Switch with me. It's fine.
Go to the beach with your Switch.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, you said I had to go outside. You didn't say I couldn't play my games, right?
Outside complaining about the sun because there's glare on the screen.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Can someone turn the sun down?
Would you people shut up? I'm trying to hear this dialogue. We'll have fun somewhere else. That would actually 100% be me.
I know.
Although I would probably go to because I'd probably do a resort thing, right? I'd go to a pool and I'd make sure it's a resort where they had people that would bring you drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And like every once in a while, I'd go over to the pool and like dip my feet in to be like, yeah, in the pool.
I am inside the pool at least a little bit.
I got in the pool.
Yeah.
Technically.
Technically.
Yeah, right? Like, I can't go all in the pool. My Switch would get wet.
I have my Switch. Think of the Switch. You're not thinking.
And I'm not just
big
going to leave my
picture.
Switch sitting around somewhere because it'll get taken.
Exactly.
like, if you bring the Switch, you are now playing the Switch.
100%.
Yeah.
Every day I fight off the urge to buy a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I'm getting close on that one too. I own so many games that would work on Steam Deck because I like a lot of indie games. So I'm like, oh, those all work on that.
Mm-hmm.
People have gotten Nancy Drew games to work on the Steam Deck, and I'm like, portable Nancy Drew? That's crazy.
Yeah, but if you do that, you have to play it without a headset. Just so wherever you are, people can be like, the fuck is going on?
Check.
Not fired.
Can't check that off
missed.
yet. Yeah.
I fired and I missed. It's my second favorite guy in any Nancy Drew game.
Who's your first one?
That crazy lady when the
you said guy. I thought you had a list of women and a list of men that you really liked.
Sorry, I was doing that like shitty thing that we do where everyone's a guy.
No.
What's up, guy? Hey, guy.
I'm a dude. You're a dude.
Yeah. I'm a dude. You're a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes, dude. Oh yeah, this podcast wasn't sponsored today because I forgot.
Damn.
But Borderlands 3 sucks. So there you go. 1 out of 2.
Yeah. Woo.
Listen, I said I was switching up the intro a little just to make it quicker, and then I forgot. Oh, I'm supposed to do fake ad reads. I didn't have one lined up today anyway, so whatever. Today's like a chill episode. We ain't got like a main topic, and just chatting today.
We're just here. We're vibing.
Yeah. Today's an all vibes day.
Yeah. I will say that my hype for Baldur's Gate 3 is steady skyrocketing, and I'm like, I should temper this.
I mean, I'll be real with you. I think you can assume it's gonna be good. The studio that's making it did the Dragon's Dogma series.
Yeah.
So they're known for having extremely intricate games.
Which
the game looks
I love that series. I played multiple games of that series. Never finished any one that I saw.
Oh, that's so shocking. Who could have seen that coming?
I'll guarantee you this. You're not going to finish Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. Unless it really hooks you. Because that game has more dialogue than all seasons of Game of Thrones put together.
Oh my god.
That's true.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's wild.
And wild.
Yeah, now, granted, there's probably a lot of that's probably like side quests. There's probably stuff that, depending on choices, you wouldn't see. So my guess is they're making it so that you can do multiple playthroughs and see different things. So I don't know like total on what the main quest is, but I mean, you got to figure that's a 60-hour game. I'd say at the low end.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that's probably like if you just do the main quest and you just kind of burn through it. Because I'm probably going to try and watch the cutscenes because I have a feeling they're going to be done well, and also it's one of those games where knowing what's happening is going to help
actually help. Yeah.
So yeah, I have high hopes, and I think I'm not thinking like game of the year candidate. I never allow my hopes to get that high, but I'm convinced it's going to be a game I'm going to enjoy, and I'm not going to feel bad about buying it.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be a game of the year contender. It's not going to win any game of the years, but at least people are going to talk about it in that sense.
So I'd say what else this year so far? You got Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom is
right. That's going to get a shit ton of
obvious
votes.
Choice. Yeah.
If Starfield launches well, that's going to get a lot more mainstream attention.
Is Starfield the one that is like what was that game that everybody was really excited for? Yeah, thank you. That's the one I'm thinking of, right?
Yes.
It's like No Man's Sky. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'd say it has elements of No Man's Sky simply due to like the size of it and what you can do. But it's definitely like, Skyrim or the newer Fallouts, like
Yeah,
in a No Man's Sky kind of universe, because there's main plot lines,
Right, yeah.
bunch of different factions. There's going to be a lot more, quests and interactivity with NPCs. You don't really interact with the NPCs a whole ton in No Man's Sky.
True. Yes. Starfield is my most anticipated game this year. Like, I am super hyped for that one. When the fuck does September 6th. So,
Yeah.
You already had it pulled up and everything.
pulled up.
Well, yeah.
No,
Oh, you
Baldur's
just
Gate
know.
moved up.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate moved up, so it's coming out. I think second week of August now.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be the 31st, but they decided they're like, oh, it's ready to go. They've also, remember, they early accessed this too. And that's been out in early access for over a year now while they've, finished the game and polished it. So that's another thing that I think works in the favor for the game, because they've been getting input on it. And they've, had people in there and actually running the game. And, players, they get early access games and they're like, how can I break this?
Oh, why? It comes out August 3rd.
That's what.
Oh, they came up even earlier.
Wait, which game are we talking?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Oh.
Yeah, we switched back. Oh, fuck. Well, I'm not playing it that weekend, but whatever.
I mean, I will be.
Yeah. Well, we'll get Brian's first takes on it.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, okay. With the caveat, as long as building the computer goes well.
Yes. Correct.
I mean, I do have to allow the possibility that I just don't know what I'm doing with PCs anymore.
I mean, Floyd tried to build me a PC, and
fried the motherboard.
We all know how that ended up.
Yeah, I know. So here's my thing with that. That one is like, man, do I just like take all these pieces to Supercenter and just be like, here's $500, just put it together?
Honestly, it probably won't cost. It won't cost nowhere near that much.
I would hope not. But
I don't exactly remember how much putting this computer together was, because Floyd, being Floyd, was like, you need a better motherboard. You need a better this. And I was like, I don't need anything. I just wanted to.
That's not what happened, right? So what happened was, he was like, oh yeah, the motherboard fried. And I was like, well, I guess you need a new motherboard. Like, I fucked it up. I need to replace it. So I bought a new motherboard. But then he tells me, oh yeah, your CPU isn't compatible with this motherboard. Yeah. I was like, well, I guess you're getting a new CPU. Like,
I got a whole upgrade that I was not was not supposed to have, but
yeah, that's kind of the thing. You fry the motherboard.
But now my computer's
now you need
pink.
all new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
No, everything. It was only the motherboard. Like,
yeah,
that was
everything else worked.
It was just not compatible with the new one. And I was like, well, upgrade times. Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I still got that service. We could probably just drop yours off and they'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I never actually stopped paying for that. Because I was like, I'm probably going to fuck my PC up at some point.
God,
the usual Floyd, I need this for a month. I'll cancel it 2 years later.
Well, no. This was a conscious decision not to do it. Because I was like, I'm probably going to fuck up my PC at some point. With me just like, I want to try to do this with it. Or like, let's upgrade this. And then I just fry something and like, all right, I messed it up. You guys fix it.
And they were very nice over there, so
they were really nice.
Oh yeah, I mean, so if I could go back and do it all again, instead of like attempting to go to college twice, I would have just done whatever it would take to get into the IT field.
Yeah.
And then probably do that, build computers all day or diagnose and be all like, I fucking love my job. Yeah, I think for me the big problem is I had such a long gap between owning PCs. A ton of stuff has changed in that time.
Yeah.
So I used to be really good at working on my PC and knew everything that was going on. And now I'm like, well, I can watch videos and read articles on it. Although this one too, I think just has a gremlin in it.
Yeah.
I've said it numerous times. Like, everything I did, something should have fixed it. It definitely shouldn't have gotten worse. You should not replace the thermal grease and suddenly it gets hot faster.
You said, uh-oh.
Especially because I know what I'm doing with the
about?
thermal grease, because the first time that's what I did, and that fixed it for 2 months. I honestly,
I remember that.
I think the CPU is just, I think it's just a bad CPU. I think it just wore down.
Oh, yeah.
Because like that's like my last thing with it. I mean, there's
Which
the
one do
possibility
you
that
have?
I have the 12th gen i9.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it wasn't overclocked or anything, because I don't do that, because I prefer my stuff to have a longer life, because I'm not big on replacing pieces all the time. I'm like, I like to kind of, here's my PC, and it's good for a long time. And, oh, is it slowing down a bit? Cool. Let me put some, new memory sticks in it. Let me upgrade the graphics card. I don't like, because, especially, too, if you wait too long with your CPU to upgrade, as you found out, it may not be compatible with your motherboard. So then you have to switch the motherboard.
Yeah. I think that will be my next upgrade. I want a new mobile, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So,
Well, I would say don't, because of literally the last time.
It'll be fine.
That's how we learn. It's just learning with PCs is expensive.
Yes. It was just so funny because when he took my computer in to get it checked out, they were like, yeah, you literally put everything in perfectly. Like, it looks great in here. You just somehow fucked up the motherboard. So it's not turning on, obviously. And Floyd was like, God damn it. He was just like, I did everything right. You mean to tell me I had it perfect? But he just like held the motherboard wrong or slightly bent it or something. Like he just wasn't careful enough with it.
Or
so
I wasn't grounded properly. It was mostly I probably wasn't grounded properly.
That would be my guess, and that you went to go plug something in and you sparked.
Zoop.
And that's that. Yeah, that's the thing with electronics, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I let other people do it.
I mean, if you got that service, I'm just like, so we could have tried this months ago.
Yeah, and where were you a couple months ago?
Whatever. I mean, like I said, I was going to try to fix it myself first anyway, because that's something I enjoy. I've always enjoyed that, like trying to like learn new things.
Yeah.
And I like hands-on stuff. I've always liked fixing stuff, working with my hands, and I love PCs, and I love gaming, and I love electronics. It was right up my alley of, I'd rather try and troubleshoot this myself. And like I was saying before, one of the reasons I've been so patient with it is okay, that didn't work. On to the next thing. So I've learned a bunch of little stuff that are easy checks if this ever happens again.
Right.
It didn't fix this one, but in the future, I now have that knowledge, and I know, like, okay, this is an easy thing to check. Check this, try this, try this, try this. So at least I can go through that checklist myself if this ever happens again, before I'm like, okay, I'm out of my depth. I have to take this in.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of I at least want to be at that skill level with stuff, where, it's the same thing. It's like, just like with wiring, I had a friend teach me some basic stuff. So there's things I can do with wiring. With, there's some plumbing stuff I can do, because I had a friend of mine who was a plumber teach me some. I like having all those little skills like that. Like, I gotta rip that washing machine apart and see if I can fix that, but I'm confident in my skills because I constantly having people teach me, like, hey, teach me how you do this so I can do it myself. Like, I like doing that stuff. It's fun to me.
Well, yeah. And it's just good skills to have because of if anything were to happen. So I will say in terms of computers and stuff like that, I don't know shit. I'm just a little lady, and I just like my little lady games. But whenever I download something, like right now, I've been messing a lot with like an old Windows emulator to play a lot of my old like 1999 to like 2005 games from my childhood, and just getting that set up and like watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. Once it was all working, I was like, I'm a genius. I was like, wow, I'm so smart and know so much about computers, and this is crazy. But it's just like watching a YouTube video, and it's like, and you press this button and it turned on, and I was like, I did it. And
I
that's
mean, but
pretty much
it's still a skill you're learning.
yeah.
You know.
That's probably the extent of like computer stuff that I would do is just Googling, will this give me a virus and what are all my options to figuring out how to get this to work? Um, but it's still really cool stuff because yeah, now I find myself being like boom boom bam. Like now I know exactly how to do it with like another game or the next thing or getting a different emulator or whatever. So it is really cool to just learn those little skills and then sometimes to like pass it on to someone else. It's always fun.
Yeah, like I felt like a genius when I got the randomizer to work for Elden Ring.
Nice.
I mean, and that came with like a text file, like here's what you do step by step. But yeah, like I did all that and I had to go through and keep referencing it. And I did the whole randomizer. I got in the game. I didn't like the randomizer, so there was no more steps where you had to basically purge all that. So then I went through those steps, but then I was like, oh, but I know the steps I have to do for this now, and so you can just do it. And it was like, it's one of those things. It's easy to do. There's a lot of steps. They have to be done in the right order. So you need to have that, like, this. But then once you do it, it's easy. But yeah, I had that same thing. I was like, I'm awesome. I got a fucking randomizer on Elden Ring. Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Then I played for 2 hours and it crashed and it wouldn't start again because I randomized everything and it was a little too much.
And it said, no.
And it just went, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. We have nothing.
Well, all the trolls in the game that you get in the first area were all dragons.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's not a good randomizer, but we're going to stick with it. And I went to an area where there's supposed to be like 4 of them. And all of a sudden, here's 4 dragons in the game. Just went, no. And it just fucking just done. It just went to desktop. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. Huh?
That's how I felt when I first did mods for Stardew on my PC. Because it's a lot of like, you need this mod to get this mod to work, and to download this one, you have to put it in this folder. Whereas like, okay, so like doing mods for like The Sims is literally make a new file, call it mods, put your mods in there, done. Whereas like in Stardew, it's like, and then you're going to go to this file and click on this 3 times, and then you're going to open this, and then you can download the mod that you want. But also, you have to get this other thing to get this to work, and blah, 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 blah. So when I first did it in Stardew and I opened it up and it was all working, I was like, God bless. But the thing with mods, even, you know, any mods really, but Stardew mods, it's like the second it gets updated, if you don't stay up to date with it, your game will not open. Like it will not. And I couldn't remember because I had only done it once, and months later something had been updated because I had Stardew Expanded, which is probably like the biggest mod you can get for the game. So they had updated it, and I couldn't remember where any of my mods were, what folder, what to do, blah, blah. So I just said, wipe it. I said, wipe all of it. I am restarting completely on my PC. My main one is on my Switch anyway. So I was just like, okay, like I don't care that much about the PC one. It's whatever. But I just wiped everything because I was like, I'm not even about to try to fix this because I know I'm about to mess something up.
Well, so you might be excited to hear then. There is an update coming for Stardew, like sometime this year it's supposed to be. But the update is to make it easier to mod the game.
I did see that. I was like,
yeah, it's expanded tools for modders and like quality of life stuff, and just to make it easier to mod the game and for modders.
Yes, thank God. I
love that.
We do love that. Stardew Expanded was so fun for like the 4 days that I played it.
The 4 days that it worked for? Yeah. Yeah, that's been something that's kept me off mods a lot. Is just like, you look and see everything you got to do, and I just go, no, just no.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you got to make sure you have this one line of text and this one file right here, and then double hide that file, this one right here, and then add a line of text here, and here, and get your signature right there. I'm like,
yep.
And your signature and your social security.
Your signature in blood and
your firstborn child will be named.
We are not liable if your computer physically explodes, kills you and your entire family.
It does make me feel like a coder though when stuff is like that. Even if I'm watching a YouTube video and just copying it verbatim, I'm like, I'm a coder now. Even though I took a literal coding statistics class in college, that didn't make me feel like a coder. No. Following a YouTube video verbatim to get a mod to work, that's coding.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more fun coding.
Hey, stats was really fun when I was still smart.
And now a week later, you've made a calculator. Fantastic. How much is this class again?
I don't want to think about it. Don't make me think about that.
Yeah, no.
You can't
You've made
even
a word
imagine.
processor that's not as good as any other word processor you can get for free.
No, you
Cool.
cannot even imagine what grad school classes cost. And they're like, oh, it's an hour-long class. Here's how much it costs. And then you want to projectile vomit everywhere. So
I mean, I wanted to do that with basic courses. Every year when they were like, oh, you have to pay this amount before you even sign up for classes. I'm like, why? That doesn't make sense.
No, I know. That's why when I started going to
it's like, this is your base fee, and then you pay DLC for every class.
Yeah. Very Sims 4. Just keep it going for the next 10 years.
Because you need books.
Yeah.
Everything's a video game, God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta make it that way for this.
That's fair. I guess it does work in our favor sometimes.
So, did you know that Final Fantasy 16 launched without an option to turn off the motion blur?
No, absolutely
Wow.
not. Absolutely not.
I was like, that's wild. They just updated it after people were complaining, like, come on, stop this. So now you have the option to turn off the motion.
Well, thank God. When I don't know if this was talked about on the podcast either because I can't remember, but at one point Floyd and I were playing Slenderman together and we made it through the entire game, but we got to the last like I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes and I started sweating. Like I was feeling so nauseous and I looked over at Floyd and I was like, we need to like we finished the game, but I was like, I think I need to lay down. Like I'm getting really sick. And we were streaming it and someone was like, oh, by the way, you have motion blur on. And I was like, you mean to tell me for the last like 2.5 hours I've been staring at this and I've just been getting like sicker and sicker as it went on because of the fucking motion blur? I literally had to like take a nap, like a 2 or 3 hour nap because I got so sick from it. So that's crazy that games would still, or just in general, make it so it's like you have to have motion blur on. Because for people like me, I wouldn't be able to play the game long term.
Can I ask an honest question?
Yeah.
What is the fucking point of motion blur?
An excellent question. Is it supposed to make it more realistic? Like,
supposedly it's to make the gameplay smoother, but I'm like, see, as a person
just
that
don't make your fucking game janky.
Yeah. Like motion blur doesn't really affect me, which is why like half the time I don't notice it's on.
Mm-hmm.
But when I turn it off, I'm like, oh, difference. Got it.
No, I've never gotten like physically sick, but it'll give me a headache.
Yeah.
Like I hate it. I can't like okay, if you had I at this point I don't even care what the point of it is. That shit should always start default off.
Yeah.
I have never talked to anyone who's like, oh man, look at the motion blur in this game. It's so good. Everyone's like, what? Fucking motion blur? What the fuck? Turn that off.
Yeah.
Literally.
Who the fuck wants it?
Yeah, I just don't. I've never really noticed it adding anything to my game where I'm like, oh yeah, I absolutely need this. But like, there definitely have been games that I've played, especially like my PC setup. I have 2 monitors and one of my monitors is pretty big. And like, what's a good example? Like Disney Dreamlight Valley, when you start it, it either has like really severe motion blur on or it's just like the sensitivity on it is very fast. And for the first like hour or 2 hours that I played that game, I literally had the worst headache because the motion was so fucking weird. And I am someone who's very sensitive to that kind of stuff. So I was just like, why the fuck would you make it this way? I had to turn the sensitivity literally to like 0 because it was so sensitive to like move your mouse around and stuff like that. And so I'm just like, can we just all agree on like a base sensitivity, and two, yeah, you can put motion blur into the game, absolutely. If people do enjoy that and like the feel and movement and visuals of it, great. But don't turn it on first and foremost. Like, make it as base level as possible, and then everyone can add on whatever they want to in it. It's like, when they start off with like the highest possible settings, it makes sense because you want everyone to see it first and foremost in all its glory. But not everybody's computer runs that way, or not everybody's system or whatever runs that way. So it's just put it at a base level, and then everybody can deck it out how they want to.
Yeah, also with the mouse sensitivity thing, I'm like, how can you not just take my default mouse sensitivity?
Exactly.
Start your game at 0, and if somehow your game sucks and I have to turn it up, I have to turn it up.
Exactly. I was so, like, the second I popped in the game, I literally went, holy shit, because I could already feel a headache going on. I was like, oh my God.
Man, could you imagine if VR games had motion blur and also had like a sensitivity issue with turning your head?
Don't. I mean, even VR, when I tried out the VR, it was really fun, but it could not be something I would play long term because it would give me motion sickness. Yeah. But I can't even imagine if it had motion blur on. I would have literally thrown up. I would have thrown up everywhere.
I'd have thrown it up.
I would have thrown it up everywhere.
Yeah.
The life of a sensitive tummy girl.
You know who else has a sensitive tummy? Daedalic Games. I don't know, that was the best segue I had. I don't have a lot of news, but this one caught my eye. So, Lord of the Rings Gollum, right? And how terribly it launched and everyone hates it.
Yes.
Yeah, so Daedalic is no longer making games.
Damn. Oh my God. They got bullied off the internet.
Well, they will continue producing games, but they're closing their development studio.
Holy shit.
And laying off a third of their staff.
Holy moly.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, so here's the thing that kills me, right?
Oh my God.
Because I didn't know this, because you remember we were kind of like, hey, this game could work, it could not work. We were like hesitant about it.
This is ugly.
Okay, I would have been 100% against it if I had known this. Do you know what Daedalic Games is famous for making?
What?
The Deponia series.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either.
Like Surviving Deponia?
Nope.
Oh, so go figure. Eddie's actually played those. They're this kind of like weird little slice of life kind of games. Like, I don't know how exactly to describe them because I've never played them, because I looked at them and went, I don't want to fucking play that. They're like cutesy and like you're in a town and I don't know, I guess there's things and I don't like. That's how little I cared about those games that I can't even really describe to you what the shit they are. But yeah, no, they didn't seem like good games, and they definitely were not a game that I would think is a springboard to an action stealth game.
That's wow.
I'm sorry, I am listening to you, but I'm just looking at the pictures from the Lord of the Rings Gollum game.
Oh gosh,
and
why?
I'm really I'm just floored. I'm speechless, honestly. I just this
Bamboozled?
is I
we didn't land on Plymouth Rock.
It is
Plymouth Rock landed on us.
It is so ugly. So
yeah, it wasn't good. It was a bad launch.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum devs, quote, deeply regret its dismal reception. Oh, good Lord. Oh,
they deeply regret it to the tune of 25 people's careers.
Oh, my God. Gollum developer Daedalic quits game development. It's crazy. That is literally insane. Wow. Well, can't wait for it to be free so I can see what the gameplay is like.
Literally, yeah.
Also, the development arm is gone. No updates, so it's not getting fixed.
Yeah, exactly. That is wild, dude. That is so crazy.
In lighter news, a goldfish is playing Elden Ring.
Good for the goldfish. Claps for the goldfish.
So, okay, so this one is like, we'll call it a Ripley's Believe It or Not kind of moment because,
Okay.
I read the article. I'm not 100% sure I believe the goldfish is actually doing this. But apparently the streamer set up something so that it takes the position of where the goldfish is in the tank, and that corresponds to different button presses. And so he removed all the visual stimuli from the tank so that it would be random. And then apparently with the goldfish moving, that's supposed to tell what to happen.
Interesting.
It's beaten the first phase of Millennia. So once again, I'm not 100% sure that I believe this.
Yeah.
But that being said, hey, randomness is crazy. I mean, the VODs are up. What is it? Point Crow. If anyone's interested, I might go watch and see. But like I said,
yeah,
I don't think it's actually true.
We could do a
if it
viewing
is true,
party.
that's awesome. I mean, but what? Let's see. They had someone who beat Elden Ring with their mind.
Yeah.
We all that. Let's see. They used a bop it.
I love that.
Someone strummed Margit to death with an acoustic guitar.
Okay.
And then we know about the taking out Millennia at level 1 with a dance pad, right? I think I've actually mentioned that one. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, motherfuckers be crazy out here.
I mean,
they be so good at the game. They're like, I need more of a challenge.
Right. They're like, this game ain't hard enough. Where's the hard mode?
What if I do it with a dance pad?
Right.
What if I dance my way to victory?
Well, so I wish I knew her name because I feel bad because I've talked about it twice and I can't even mention the person
I'm
that
gonna
did it.
Google. You keep talking.
But
I'm Googling.
she did one where she played 2 games simultaneously, 2 Souls games simultaneously, one with the dance pad and one with the controller.
Mm-hmm.
And she was playing them at the same time.
That's too much brain processing power for me.
Dude, that's... Yeah. Man, I can barely, pat my head and rub my tummy at the same time, you know what I mean?
I don't have enough RAM for that.
Her stream name is Miss Mika. MISSMIKKAA. Miss Mika.
There you go. Yeah,
Oh.
so at least we did the proper shout out for talking about the insanely talented and just bonkers ways to beat Souls games.
Yeah,
we're not worthy. We're not worthy. I bow to your talent. Would never fucking do it in a million years. Would never even try to do it in a million years. So
not even nope.
Good on you. I'll try speedrunning the games before I try that shit. And let me tell you, speedrunner games not gonna happen. Man, you know what we need? We need a slow run category for games.
Yeah.
How absolutely slow can I play this game?
True. Maggie.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, Power Wash Simulator.
I saw it. I already knew. I already know where you're going. I already know where you're going with it.
For Bryan. Now,
Animal Crossing.
No.
No.
SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob.
It's getting a SpongeBob.
Who's getting
DLC.
the Animal Crossing thing then?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But I saw someone play the SpongeBob Power Wash Simulator already, and it was incredibly satisfying. I was like, this is my end all be all. This is it. This is peak gaming, people.
Yeah, I never got into SpongeBob.
That's okay. I understand why a lot of people didn't get into it, but also I don't trust you, so.
I mean, when SpongeBob was big, it was like I really wasn't watching any type of cartoons or anything.
No, I get it.
I was in that, that age range where you're like, I'm too old for cartoons now. And then you get a little older past that and you're like, fucking cartoons are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So SpongeBob unfortunately fell right in that area where I was like, I watch cartoons, I watch anime. You know what? I could have summed this up way better. It was my edgelord phase, which, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, everybody fucking goes through it. Some are a little more edgy, lordy than others. But, I mean, truly, the acceptable time to be an edgelord is during puberty.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pass. I feel like I'm like, oh, you're still learning. You're growing. That's okay. Everybody's going to do weird or cringy or whatever things. Like,
yeah. Like, yeah. But, once you, like, hit your 20s and you're still an edgelord, now you are truly an edgelord.
Yeah.
Stop talking to me. Go away.
Yeah. Also, now I'm just going down a rabbit hole. Apparently, another girl also beat Elden Ring with a dance pad. And her name is Lorena.
Once somebody does it, then everybody. Now it's not even cool anymore.
Yeah.
It's only punk when you do it the first time. Everybody after that, now it's just trendy.
Now it's just trendy. That it's just what, like, how do you remember which button? I mean, I guess, like, right, it's the same thing as using a controller. You just remember what button does what. But, like,
but with your feet.
But with your feet. It's so crazy. Which I guess is also a great way to have it be more accessible for people, in certain aspects. But it's just wild. How do you even set it up like that? I'm going down a rabbit hole. Anyway.
Floyd, I got a game coming out for you.
What?
The Expanse, a Telltale series, episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Telltale's finally getting their new games going.
Yay! I can't wait for them to come out with The Wolf Among Us 2. I am not pretty impatiently, actually.
Did that one get pushed back?
Yes. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm very impatient.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure comes out July 28th.
That game looks phenomenal. And I think I know I'm putting it too high on a pedestal because it's only coming to Apple Arcade.
Apple Arcade, yeah.
So, like, I know I'm putting it way too high on a pedestal, but just from the gameplay that they've shown us.
People are really liking it. They say the only problem with it is coming to Apple Arcade.
Apple Arcade. Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I'm hoping that it is really good. I'm hoping that it is a great game, and with that, I hope I hope they move it over. But I'm sure they're like, we have no idea how this is gonna go, so we're just throwing it out there, testing the waters. Easy peasy, mobile game, whatever, and then it'll probably grow from there. But I'm wondering if South Park is getting a cut of this.
I don't know.
Because it comes from them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually.
Yeah, it was a TikTok meme for a long time, but it's a clip where it's like, not Kyle. One of them is like. Hold on, I'm gonna find it and I'll send it to you. But basically, one of them is like, I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and it wasn't a real game. And then Sanrio and whoever is developing the game and stuff ran with it. So I'm hoping that South Park gets at least some kind of cut because they were the ones that like pretty much started it.
I don't know.
Hello Kitty.
South Park
developed by Sunblink.
Island Adventure.
Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea. Whatever site I'm on is not going to give me the type of information that I would want for that. Not that I actually want any information on that.
Right.
Hey, you remember when I said before we started recording, I was like, today's just going to be a quick episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It usually goes like this.
We just don't do those anymore, I guess.
No.
I was so worried when we started doing this. I was like, look, as long as we make it 30 minutes an episode, we're good. We haven't had a problem hitting 30 minutes since like episode 3.
I
It's
know.
like, bro, we need to cut it out before we hit an hour and 10 minutes. That's what we need to focus on.
Why? I don't mind doing the longer ones.
Nah, I'm joking.
I mean, it's a little more work for me, but I don't mind it. I enjoy doing the editing on it. I did fuck up a little last week, but nobody seemed to notice. So,
Anybody interested in Pikmin 4, or am I the only one like I can't wait for that to go on sale in like
I've
5 years?
never played a Pikmin game.
so I have this thing with Pikmin games that I'm like, oh, cool, Pikmin, and then I play it for 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
That's what I'm saying.
Ah.
Man.
Whoa.
Sorry. Something came up. I'm so sorry. That was. I apologize.
We'll just cut that part out.
I'll just put a bleep in and let everyone try to imagine what happened. What did Maggie say? She's the nice one.
Yeah.
Not today. No, I apologize. There's a lot going on in my outside life, so I apologize.
But, you know, there were 2 episodes where Floyd had an alarm going on for like 15 minutes during an episode.
Well, at least you can just bleep this out.
No, because it would be going when he was talking, so I could
No,
delete
I'm
it
saying,
all.
I'm saying on my end.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Pikmin 4. I keep wanting to like the Pikmin games, but I know I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Like I'll like it, but it's like it's not. I'm not gonna like play it long enough to like bother with it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, I'm probably not going to touch it at all for years, and then find a really cheap, like, used physical copy of it. And like, cool, that'd be fine.
Yeah, like that physical copy I got of Mario and Rabbids.
That you is still in
Still
plastic.
haven't opened.
It's literally still in plastic, isn't it?
It is still in plastic. At this point, now I'm just like, well, maybe it's a collector's item now. I just don't open
It's
it.
not.
Exactly. Well, you never know.
It might
Maybe
be,
Well, it's
another
not
30
now,
years.
but yeah, that's my retirement plan, yo.
Mhm.
I just really, really gotta hope that people ended up liking it. Although people did like it, they said it was a good game.
Yeah, no, yeah. People really do.
The second
like it,
one
but
was
I don't.
either out or coming out.
Yes,
I think so.
coming
One of
out.
those things. Yeah. Okay.
One of them.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe I'll do that like the Tears of the Kingdom thing. I'll be like, oh, I should do this first.
Yeah.
But I still haven't finished Breath of the Wild, so we've seen how good I am at all that. Anybody get on? Words are hard.
Hey, yo.
Man, I ain't done one of those in a minute. Anybody have anything else today?
Yeah, I have one more thing.
Cool.
Borderlands 3 sucks.
Yeah.
And Nickelback.
Yes, and Tikusai. You are right.
I thought you were gonna go for the Nickelback one because I made sure to do Borderlands 3 earlier.
No, but I need to make up for the time I missed it too. So
That's true. That is true. There were multiple people that missed it. I don't blame Eddie for that one. He didn't know the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So much for the short episode. We love y'all.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.